What's happening? Am I on dessert yet? Me, I just rammed some lunch down my throat. Like rammed some lunch down my throat. That's my dead dog right there. Right there. See that? Dead dog. The one in the box, not what looks like a dead animal. That the box, the ashes. The ash professionally created powder pet. Right. So Diddy case. Right. I'm going to show you a picture. Okay, we're all going to play. In fact, do you know what? Do you know what we're going to do? Right. We're going to let 5 minutes go past and then we can talk a little bit more freely. Okay. Because what makes someone famous, iconic, what makes somebody the thing of their time changes depending on what time period we're talking about, right? And technology and information and media all changes too. And we're living in a powerful world now. We're living in a world where traditional outcomes aren't always to be expected. You know, especially when we look at the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know what that is. Pirates of the Caribbean guy. That case, you know, traditionally, it does turn out the guys are usually the mad ones. Things didn't turn out that way this time. Someone pooped in the bed, though. And then we look at the Diddy case. We look at other cases where things happen. Charges are brought and then charges just go. What to owe your other studio? I am spring cleaning, right? You have no idea what is currently going down, Maria. Okay. Like I dealt with a hedge today, right? I dealt with the tip of the spear of a hedge. It's not even the tip. I maybe broke the tip off the spear. The whole tip's still there, right? And I'm spring cleaning. I have to say, I'm not very good at like normal things. And when you live by yourself or, you know, you live coexistingly, sometimes you need to sort of assess where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses are. And it's really bad. Like some of my weaknesses are stuff that like 10-year-olds can master, you know? And I'm trying now to fully advance to like full adult mode. You know what I mean? Like I wallpapered this year. You know what I'm saying? So, as stupid as that sounds, sometimes we just need to grow up a little bit. And it doesn't mean we have to change. It just means how we exist needs to change. You know? And there's nothing wrong with leveling up. You know? It is the season. And I'll tell you what, Mary, I've got a lot of crap. Okay? Like, I've got boxes and boxes of cards, right? Like bulk collectible cards. They're all going off to like my kids' school after the summer holidays. They're getting about 8,000 to divvy up to all the kids. And I'll donate them to places where kids have nothing, you know? Because I don't need the bulk, okay? Like I don't need all this bulk. I've got 2 boxes of 4,000 bulk and then all the new bulk to go through. So, and it's now we're coming to listen. This isn't why you're here, but we're coming to the end of the Scarlet and Violet era. Okay, it's a whole new era of Pokemon about to start. Serious, okay? It's serious. It's like honestly, if anyone is a collector and you know what has happened over the last 12 months in the collector world, you'll feel my pain. All right, now I'm getting a big bin. You know, it only dawned on me last week. My mum was saying, why are you not just burning all the stuff that you cut off your hedge? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what people do. They buy the hobo bins and they burn the garden stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to start off with a little game. And the game is Who Dis Be? Actually, let's put a little bit more production value on that. It's Who Dis Be? That's what we're going to play. Who Dis Be? Who this? Who that? Who this? Who this? No, Nova's for select times only. Can't oversaturate you with Nova. She'll turn you all into really good people. And I wouldn't want to take away your free will. Yo mama! It's yo mama, KLG. Yo mama. Correct. Polanski. That's Virginia's dad. What? It's Polanski, right? Now, who's Polanski? Don't spoil it now. Polanski is an award-winning director. And I don't mean a little bit. I mean, look at this. That's an Academy Award right there. No, that's an Academy Award. That's a big boy one. Okay? That's the one where if you talk about people's wives, you get slapped. Okay? Now, 2003. Okay. So Polanski's famous for some things. Mandy getting her wrench here. Yes. Is Mandy here? If she's not here, then don't ask me. But yeah, obviously, yeah, 100%. 100%. So, history can't repeat itself in Hollywood, right? Mandy's here, right? Nice one. So if I come over here, just bear with me, everybody. Okay. I'm on the wrong channel. Fabulous. I'm on the wrong channel, baby. Right. Over this channel now. All right, Ron, be quiet. Mandenstein. There you are. Bosh. All right. Nice one. Dunzo. Okay. Yeah. R word. So then we hop over to the Wikipedia page just dedicated to the essay case of the Polanski himself. Now, I'm going to go back to the picture of Polanski. This is Polanski. Oh, no. So, I want you to imagine we're in a movie where at this particular time in this man's life, he goes down a dark path and eventually, for some reason, is turned into a vampire. Okay? And without doing any makeup work, this is Polanski now. If that is not one of the vampires from that vampire movie series where that chick with the black hair basically wore a skin-tight rubber suit for the whole thing. Awesome, by the way. Absolutely all over Twilight. All over it. But man, like if this was the 16th century and my big like cargo ship run aground and he suddenly sat up from a coffin full of earth from his homeland and started screaming in the daytime sun, no one's being surprised at that. Did you just say, oh my God? No, it wasn't Twilight. It was, what was the movies with the werewolves and the vampires that was actually cool, right? It wasn't Twilight. It was the one with the chick in the leather and then the dude who eventually played, did he play Gollum? I can't remember. Someone help me out. Help me out here. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And thank you, cats, right? Thank you for doing the job of my brain so well. Thank you. So, anyway, let us begin. On March 10th, 1977, baby, okay? 43-year-old director Roman Polanski was arrested and charged in LA with 6 offenses against Samantha Gailey, a 13-year-old. The charges are unlawful intercourse with a minor by use of substances, sodomy, and lascivious acts, and furnishing a controlled substance to a minor. Pleaded guilty to all charges, but later accepted he pleaded not guilty to all charges. That makes more sense. Pleaded not guilty to all charges, and then later accepted a plea bargain whose terms included dismissal of 5 more serious charges in exchange for a guilty plea to the lesser charge of engaging in unlawful with a minor. Right? Now, what do you think happens next? So he goes, and again, I just need you to keep it in your brain. We're living in a world where in the 70s, in order to just take a plea deal on the lesser charge, they got rid of all of the major charges. It's almost like Diddy didn't even need the plea deal. Not that I'm saying anything. Hollywood's totally cool, man. There's nothing suspicious going on here. Like Hollywood, all these people are great. Diddy, super nice guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, a super nice guy. You know? So we're talking about this man used substances. Also, why does that look like a fat... What's his name? Why does that look like a fat Frankie Boyle standing behind this guy? It's like chunky Frankie Boyle, right? Okay, so why have we got cases throughout Hollywood where the extreme end of the case seems to be of the lesser interest to the prosecution, to the whole system? So Polanski went under court-ordered psychiatric evaluation and was placed on probation. However, learning that he was likely to face an imprisonment and subsequent deportation, Polanski became a fugitive from the justice, fleeing to England and then France in 1978, hours before he was formally due to be sentenced. Baby! So, let's recap. Arrested, 6 charges, major charges dropped. Accepts the lesser one, goes to a court-mandated psychiatric evaluation, just living his life. Keep it in mind, he's just living his life. He's out doing his thing. Okay? Then he decides to leg it to England and then France. So, everything on this screen is after, apart from that one, is after 1977. And that one too. 2 of them. And that one too. 3 of them. Okay. And that one 4. All right. And that one 5. Okay. 5 out of a gagillion awards have all come after the fact. After this man has fled. And I don't know about you, right? But it looks like he's having a cushy time. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, does this guy look like he's stressed out? He's got fat Frankie looking after him. So I think the days of taking the 5 major charges, doing away with them, taking the plea deal and letting one of the boys, flee to another country. Can't do that in the internet era. You can't do it. You can't do it. There's no way in the internet era, okay, that this man would have had the same career if the minute that he fled, all over his Twitter were PDF file symbols. Do you know what I'm saying? It's true. Now, let's continue with today's lecture on why the world is super awesome. You all remember the Coreys, right? We all remember the Coreys. I mean, this guy, I think most of us, if you grew up as like a kid in the 80s, right? Like, will know Corey Haim, right? And Corey Feldman. But Corey Haim and Corey Feldman were like they were like the center of the movies I watched growing up. Like Lost Boys. Are you having a laugh? Like, I mean, we're staring the last generation, right, of non-digital horrors. Because I'm going to say this. I think the days of the Corey Haims, the Justin Biebers, the Ushers, I think they're coming to an end, right? The information travels too fast. But I think we can all agree that in the subject of the Cabal, Goonies, right? The subject of the Cabal, they're moving us. They're moving all of this now to a much more in-house, bred for purpose situation. And seeing individuals such as what the hell's her name? Girl from the Diddy case. Everyone thinks it's Tupac's daughter. She's escaped it all. Talks about the tunnels. I'm terrible with names. Those kind of trophies, you'll never see the end of those. That is not a pick of me. That's Corey Haim. Like, I'm sorry, Mary, were you born in like the mid-90s? If so, I'll understand. But no. Oh, listen, that is not off topic. We are getting to that. We are getting to that. Do you know how messed up the story of Shirley Temple is? Ali Carter, thank you. I'm going to put that on screen because I'm going to forget that. Shirley Temple is the name of a non-alcoholic cocktail because Shirley Temple, when she was about 9 or 10, was taken around so many bars, they had to invent a cocktail so she had something to drink there. And I do believe it's Sprite grenadine with a cherry or something. You know? You don't know Corey frickin' Haim. That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. But for me, major, the two Coreys. Then you had the untimely unaliving of, I'm going to try and spell this. This is going to be an absolute train wreck. No, what the hell is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah. River's not the hard one to spell. So then we had River Phoenix. And what happened to him? For those of you who don't know, River Phoenix and Joaquin Phoenix grew up as children in a cult. Both became major Hollywood actors. Like River Phoenix, he was massive. And you have to wonder why. And if you don't know, you do now. Stand By Me, River Phoenix, right there. Hollywood child actor. And his untimely passing, you can only put it down to a coping mechanism for so many of these Hollywood stars that grow up through alleged abuse. We've got River's brother, Joaquin. And let me just get you some facts here. So when I say they grew up in a cult, it's not just any cult. They're now known as the Family International, but they were known as Children of God. And you don't really have to do too much research into that cult. The man you're looking at here was the founder and leader of this cult. And the little boy who sat in front of him grew up, made a video all about what he was going to do, armed himself, and went out and eliminated this individual. It's one of the most darkest, almost horrifying examples of the power of the cult mindset, but it encaptures almost everything that seems to be the fundamental building blocks of Hollywood. So here is Ricky Rodriguez. This is the little boy in that photograph. And one second. Ricky Rodriguez filmed himself discussing why he was about to do what he was going to do, everything that he went through as a child, all of it. And then he went out and unalived this monster. This was the cult River Phoenix grew up in. So we have to, by our own simple maths, assume these guys went through the same thing. And then to end up in Hollywood, end up in a world where Justin Bieber's, Usher's, these young up-and-coming stars can be passed around and used exactly as this individual here done, with his dark following, their children. It's a lot. Right, guys, can you do me a favor? Can you like, can you subscribe, can you push this out? I would really appreciate it. Now, we continue on with our tale. So we know that the two Corys. Now, Corey Feldman, the other Corey, became incredibly vocal. Now, some of you didn't recognize the first Corey, and I want the same people that didn't recognize the first Corey to tell me if you recognize the second Corey, which is Corey Feldman. Again, in Lost Boys, in a lot of these awesome movies, their careers were no joke. Rain in Summer Phoenix too, yeah. The route to all this is Teletubbies, Power Rangers. After they made G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers a thing of the past. I don't know. Like, He-Man was awesome. He-Man was awesome. Thundercat. Why, of all the things that get, like, they remake all of the crap of the world, why have we not got a badass Thundercats Netflix series? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's because of Chitara, man. You couldn't make it a kid's series again because of Chitara. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That needs to happen, Netflix. So Corey Feldman. Sean has interviewed him, and he was wanting to whistleblow on the whole of Hollywood. And he's been severely criticized for wanting to do it behind a paywall, put out a documentary, and point fingers. Now, let's get our facts straight for a second here. Okay, so Corey Feldman, who is this Corey here, has publicly named a few individuals he claimed SA'd him, and by implication were part of a larger network of P words in Hollywood. Here's a summary of what Feldman has said on record. All right. Individual Corey Feldman has specifically named Marty Weiss, John Grissom, Alfie Hoffman. In addition to these names, Feldman has repeatedly said that there is a larger PDF ring operating in Hollywood that protects abusers. The abuse was an open secret that many people knew about. Other, even more powerful figures are involved, but Feldman has not publicly identified them by name. He's claimed he fears legal and physical retaliation. Regarding Corey Haim, Feldman has said that Corey Haim was the other Corey. Okay, that was the other Corey. Was R'd when he was 11 by an unnamed, very powerful Hollywood figure on the set of the film Lucas. He has never confirmed that person's identity, though it has been widespread speculation. Okay, so let's check out name number one. Marty Weiss. So the movie that Corey Feldman made was called The R of the Two, the Truth, My Truth, The R of Two Coreys. Okay, so you'll be able to find it. I highly recommend you watch it. So ChatGPT is a former Hollywood talent manager and convicted child M. Feldman said he was abused by Weiss when they were child actors. Now, this seems to just perpetuate this ongoing secret that has been around since the early days of Hollywood. And that little lady that we mentioned earlier. Like, I don't think many of us grasp just how young Shirley Temple was when she was a Hollywood sensation, right? She is tiny. Tiny. And there is so many moments, okay, when we look at modern filmmaking and all of this, there's just certain things that, looking back, you wonder what Hollywood was thinking, right? You wonder what goes through their minds. You wonder how almost a culture of predatory activity, a culture of, hey, this is a boys' club, don't worry about it, we'll keep it fairly hush hush, right? It has been allowed to manifest and grow within the evolving side of how media is put out. News doesn't travel as fast. It'll never could even come close to traveling as fast back then. I've no memory of Shirley Temple. Completely out of my whole era. But I tell you what, these two were freaking everywhere, mate. Right? Mary, Kate, and Ashley, the two girls with the three names. Come on. Like, look at, like, what is going on here? Like, Mary, Kate, and Ashley, right? What the freaking hell are these? What the hell are their names? I'm pretty sure. Okay, similar. The Olsen twins. There we are. Child stars from the Full House had multiple countdown clocks win to their 18th birthday. Like we all know what that means, right? We all know what that means. That's in like their 18th birthday. It would be, if it was the UK, it would be their 16th birthday, if you know what I'm saying. These two should have been like beyond super famous. Like these guys should be having major careers because of how prominent they were in so many kids' lives growing up. You know, that's how they do it. Child stars get us as children. They grow up, they're teenagers now. We're teenagers now. Rattle out some American Pie movies. Relatable. We become young adults. They're young adults. And we're kind of journeying with these famous people, these actors, celebrities throughout their careers. Where the hell did these two go? Where did they go? I mean, fair enough. If you've been a child star, it's your right to be like, don't want to be an adult. I don't want to be an adult star. You've got that right. You have to wonder, did they see something? Were they mistreated and backed off? Did a contract come to an end and it was just never renewed, and that's how they got off the hook? Oh, I'm not questioning. No, they're doing all right, Pearls. They're doing all right. Don't worry. But they're over. You've got to understand. They are my version of Shirley Temple. These two girls, right, were overly SUized, and anytime you see a young girl with a countdown clock, right? Like, that is dark. You know, this is how I remember them. Like this. I mean, what is going on here? She's seen something and has not stopped seeing it since she's seen it. Okay? And then we look at the Nickelodeon scenario. We look at the Disney Channel. You know, the Nick Schneider. Was it Nick Schneider? Is that his name? Schneider? No, that's a YouTuber. Sure, Nick Schneider. What the hell is his name? Nickelodeon. What the hell was his name? Is it Nick? I was just putting Schneider. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, in the grand scheme of the Cabal, right, we need to branch out now. We need to test the water. Okay. We need to test the water, and we want to see what happens when we just present children with some of the most programming, subjective, over esulaized content towards children, but in a way that parents have no clue what's going on. All right. Oh man, honestly, I'm pouring our Dr. Pepper. Put one in the side chat if Dr. Pepper is in fact the greatest freaking beverage in the world. Because it is. All right. Salute. All right. So, Nick Schneider, he implicated a whole new realm of softcore entertainment, repackaged as daytime TV for your kids. And the maddest thing, and I'll be honest, this is probably the greatest achievement by the Illuminati, or by the Cabal, by the bloodlines. Because you had a man who, in his own rights, was the Steven Spielberg of kids' TV. All right? Dan Schneider. This was the Nickelodeon logo. And Dan is a man who has a very niche fetish, one in particular. And he then changed the Nickelodeon logo. Can you guess what Dan Schneider liked to ask for his young fan base to send him videos and pictures of him of with his shows written on their feet, standing? Oh, yeah, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. It was feet. This man with a wild fetish got the whole logo changed. But listen, don't take my word for it. There's definitely nothing in any of Dan Schneider's stuff that would line up with like foot fetishing or, you know, overly, you know, showcasing any kind of lust or desire towards feet from any of the child stars. You can see none of that is apparent in the slightest, except it actually really is, though. I'm not making sense. I'm not making. Are you talking to me? Are you saying I'm not making sense? Or are you talking about the Dr. Pepper? Maybe you're talking about the Dr. Pepper. Definitely making sense. So when this is the focal point for Dan's content with children, we have this repeating factor with the feet. We have him asking his young viewers to take part in competitions online that showcase their feet. Ariana Grande, man, like the Ariana Grande stuff. Do you know, every time I look at Ariana Grande and I'm like, wow, that's a lot to unpack. Okay. I have to remind myself that she was one of Schneider's girls. And It's real. It's just real gross. And you guys can Google it. Ariana Grande, like the stuff I've already shown, like is, I mean, there's nothing going on. It's, you know, when you look at that, it's nothing too major. But you got to understand, like Ariana Grande, I'm pretty sure she ends up with white gunge all over her. Then we get that's before we even get to the gunge. All right, the gunge. When you've got kids standing there going, ah, and there's stuff spraying all over them. Who's that for? Who's that for? Anyone? Do you want to know something else mental? Do you want to know what else is mental, right? It got to the point, right, where a band came out. A band came out of, I believe it was Russia. Yes, Russia. And they were criticized for SUizing young schoolgirls. And in response to this, the manager of these girls turned around and said, yes, we're marketing these girls towards PDF files. Anybody want to take a guess at the name of the band? You get 1 point for the name of the band, an extra point if you can name the track that I was referencing. Can you do it? Can you do it? No. No, if that was a guess, no, that's not them. 10 more seconds, people. You got this. Okay. Who remembers this little ditty? Anyone remember them? Anyone remember Tattoo? All the things she said? Oh. So when did this come out? This came out in 2002. And I'm sure you all know it, right? It'll get copyright claimed. But it's a very catchy song, right? It's little school kids in wet school uniforms dancing about in the rain with a lot of very, very, very questionable close-up shots on some very, 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 very wet uniforms. Like, what is going on there? What is that? Do you see what I'm saying? And like I say, when they were questioned about why they were making it so overly sexualized towards these kids, that was their response. So let's continue with our lecture. Hollywood doesn't let up, okay? We'll continue. Okay, who's up next? Up next is Stephen Collins, I do believe. Stephen Collins, up to the plate. Like millions of other teenagers, hang on a minute. Also, I am making sense, right? Somebody said something about somebody not making sense, and it's very unlikely they were talking about me because I make sense, all right? So I'm just making sure I'm making sense. Now, she thought meeting a Hollywood star was a dream. How Stephen Collins allegedly turned it into a nightmare. Now, he admitted in 2014 to inappropriate behavior with with underage girls in the earlier decades. Okay. I don't think it's John Grisham. They can't be the same person. I'm pretty sure there's a John Grisham. That's John Grisham on the screen. John Grissom. Anyway, like millions of teenagers in the 1980s, April Price was a huge fan of swashbuckling 1982 ABC drama A Tale of a Gold Monkey. When the 13-year-old left Oklahoma to visit her aunt in LA in just 1983, she was floored when she learned the show's swoon-worthy star, actor Stephen Collins. Wait a minute. Yeah, Stephen Collins. Why were you talking about Grisham? Because I actually have John Grisham on here, but it's an actor. Hang on, Grisham Feldman. Hang on, because it's spelled Gongrrissom. I don't think it's Grisham. Can't be. Is that John Grisham? You can't be John. Have you been serious? Oh yeah, no, I said he was on the list. That's what it says. It says John. It says John Grisham, but it says actor John Grisham. You can't be talking about the author John Grisham, right? Oh wow, maybe he is. Maybe he's not. It can't be. No, John Grisham is spelled John Grisham, not John Grisham. Okay, so it's not John Grisham, it's John Grisham. Okay, Jesus, right? That's fine. No, you're fine, Kaza. You're fine. Okay, here we go. To find out that he lived next door to my aunt, yes, I was absolutely starstruck, says Price, and investigating Discovery's new 6-part series, Hollywood Demons, which debuts Monday, 24th of March at 9 p.m. And will stream on Max. An exclusive clip of the debut episode titled Stephen Collins, America's Dad, is shown below. Great. I need to read that. I remember wanting to get a headshot with him, Price says, and then he knocked on the door and he opened the door. He was tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed God, and he drove a sports car, blah, blah, blah. Just give me a second. Okay. The episode of Hollywood Demons goes into depth on the allegations that Collins, now 77, had engaged in inappropriate essay with 3 underage girls. The episode, which includes interviews with Jeremy London and Kyle Searles, Collins co-stars on the hit WB series Seventh Heaven, where they portrayed a wholesome posture family and played the father figure Eric Camden. Reached by phone by people, Collins said he didn't have any comment. The accusation surfaced in 2012 when the recording of Collins allegedly confessing his transgressions to a therapist were leaked to TMZ. In 2014, he released a lengthy statement to people admitting he had inappropriate essay conduct with 3 female minors over 20 years from 1973 to 1994. Where is he now, though, right? Where is he now? Eh? Where are you now? I wonder, where are you now? Dun, 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 dun. Is he alive? Yeah, I think so. Right? Oh man, this can't be this can't be this guy, right? Wait a minute. Oh god, you know when you start something and then you start breaking your own heart during it. No. Wait. No. Damn. Well, that sucks. Why are they all like just children? He literally plays the dad. He plays the Nard Dog's dad. It's the Nard Dog's dad. I swear to God, if this turns out to be the Nard Dog's dad, it can't be, right? Is it? Oh, no, it is. So he's admitted it. This guy. Oh, God. God, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, do you know what? No, we're not going to do that. God damn it, man. It's just everybody. It's just everyone. It's just all of them. Just all of them, guys. Just all of them. Nothing to worry about when it's literally freaking everything, right? Like, it's just endless. It's endless. It's trauma. It's endless. No one's going to jail, though. No one's going to jail, though. So, I'm going to tell you this now. Some people were talking about how the jury weren't smart enough for Diddy. Nah. We're all idiots. We're all absolute morons that expected a different result. And what is it that Einstein said about the first sign of insanity? Is the same thing happening over and over again and expecting a different result? So, actually, we're a bunch of dickheads. Because we were all like this. We got him! We got him! They got this guy. They got this guy. Do you know what his punishment was? Multiple Academy Awards. Multiple award. BAFTAs. Give him a BAFTA, mate. Give him 2. Why not? What? He R-worded a bunch of kids 20 years ago. Ah, BAFTA. Chicken fried BAFTA. Give him a BAFTA.
Action, step over. Step into the darkness. I am the voice of Hollywood. We will feed on your souls. Give us the tears and the innocence.
That's basically what it is. It's not even money. Well, it is. But is it? I mean, I guess it is money, right? Because it's big money. Should we all just start writing films? Bear with me, Annie, right? So, if all these people in Hollywood who are so good at making films, even if they abuse a bunch of kids and then fuck off to France, right? Go to France, they can still do their job, right? So maybe, Annie, we are not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's only like 2 or 3 people writing stuff, right? Maybe all of Hollywood depended on the 3 people that can actually write movies. And Hollywood was like, we need to plan listen, no one else is writing stuff. So we need to do something about this. So maybe we should just all write movies, right? Send it into Hollywood and be like, listen, see if you need a movie and your Rolodex is full of PDF files. Here's a film. Go make that. It's called Hollywood's Full of PDF Files. Everyone's going to see that film because it just keeps going on and on and on. I'm actually more scared for the future, right? Because of how good we are now at finding out crap. Because if you've got endless money and you're the Cabal, we've got stories that are coming from friends of the channel from when they were horribly abused by elites, chased them through the forests, hunted them, they're just going to start producing their own, man. Like we've got the whole transportation and the other T word that we can't use, world. 160 billion a year. That is a little chunk of cheese right there. So I'll be honest with you, we're kind of screwed. Like, we're kind of screwed because we've just seen the Diddy case. Now, after we've heard all of the wonderful things, also, nobody featured in this video has been to jail. Okay? Diddy's the only one that's seen jail. Everyone else featured in our presentation today, just died. Just died. I done it 20 years ago. How do we diddle? Die. Mad. Mad. But here's the thing. See, if you boycott Hollyweird, they will create streaming platforms and call them like, hey, we are so nothing to do with Hollywood flicks. And we'll all be like, yeah, we ain't nothing to do with Hollywood flicks. And then we find out it's owned by Cola. Right? You see what I mean? There's no escaping it. There's no escaping it, mate. Right? Dr. Pepper, though. Like, I haven't been in the cinema in 15 years. Well, it's not helped, boy. It's not helped, okay? Your protest has done nothing. So go back to the cinema, pay £45 to see a film, and then pay another £45 for some popcorn in a bucket that's about this size, that's made of plastic with a dinosaur on it and a tiny hollowed out bit for 4 pence of popcorn. Don't deny yourself that. I'm just saying. Yeah. So they're always going to find a way of rebranding what it is you're trying to avoid. The Cabal have been doing this for years. The Cabal are the ones at the center of this. They are the ones behind the orchestrated mass worship events. They are the ones that end up in conspiracies involving popular Italian dishes. And the world's been very distracting. The world has, ever since Isaac Cappy took a... Let me just show you the bridge. Like, ever since Isaac Cappy... Come on, load the page so that when I say the line, it segues in. All right, come on. There we go. Ever since Isaac Cappy fell from this terrible height of about 15 feet, maybe, something like that, and somehow instantly unalived on impact. All I'm saying is if you fell off there, right, and landed feet first, you could be laying there screaming for hours with 2 broken legs and be alive. All right. And also, it was meant to be a self-unaliving. Who's choosing that? Who's like, if I was to give you the choice of every bridge in America and you had to pick one, right? No one, well, I'm saying that if you're trying to survive, but you're not going to survive, right? No one's picking Tiny Bridge. No one. No one's like, okay, so not only is the impact not going to deal with me, I'm going to have to propel myself into the concrete. Ever since that happened, oh man, that's ice cube. Ever since that happened, there has been really such an orchestrated effort to delete it all. They seem to use mainstream platforms like YouTube and Twitter, Twitch. All these places seem to have the digital equivalent of, you know, the old like analogy of like the business who's evading taxes and then the tax man comes in, and there's just two accountants in a room with a shredder shredding everything, right? It seems like that is what happens with narratives that are considered too conspiratorial, but then always seem to fluctuate around the same topics and the same individuals. There's a lot of very heavy hitters in Hollywood that have been putting things in front of us for years. And who remembers this lady? Come on. Come on. What? Name the movie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Name the movie. You got this. I believe in you. You got this, people. I believe in you. Yes, I'll take it. I'll take it. Right. So, the very first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Who remembers the iconic scene of a very young Mr. Harrison Ford? Look how dapper that man is. Look at how dapper. Okay. What the hell is this, by the way? What is this on the board here? What is that word? What is that? Terpentine. Thustat. All right. Also, check out this guy. What is that the top of? Right. So, in the movie, written by Steven Spielberg, you remember the scene where Indiana Jones seeks out this woman and she's kind of angry with him, and they go and have all these drinks and all the rest of it. Well, there you go. Indiana Jones is a PDF file. It's implied that Marin was a minor when Indiana Jones had a relationship with her. No. It wasn't implied. It was written into the script. It was written into the script, man. And it wasn't the first time Spielberg fell victim to some very controversial characters and backwritings within some of his movies. One of his first ones involving a suitcase. Check it out. But then you hope to yourself, oh, maybe it was just a one-off in the movie, right? Maybe she tricked him, right? Maybe they met in the club. Maybe they were in the club and it was an over 21s club. Something went down, and Indiana Jones, we don't have to worry about it, right? We don't have to worry about it. Wait for it. Who remembers this scene? Oh, God. I don't care. Is it Dr. Pepper made by Coke? Oh my God, it is. Who cares? Okay. If I take away everything that these people make, I'll have nothing left. Okay. It'll just be me and some flour and some yeast, and it'll be like, oh, great, bread. So this scene here, another one of Indiana Jones's students with obviously it's the eyes, so I love you. Communicating with a new lover, maybe? Who knows? Do you remember Diana Jones? I don't think so. So we really can't get away from Hollywood's inability to, well, listen, we can't really talk about Spielberg, sadly. He is on the highly protected list We can talk about the fictional characters in which he has created that factually have been reported on in the news to contain PDF storylines like we have done. Steven Spielberg, real cool guy. Nothing suspicious about how he has no social media. Has adopted many children from foreign countries. And who several of them have got several. Let's do some Googling. Do some Googling. Do some Googling. Because we can't talk about it here. I'll tell you that right now. We definitely can't. Now, let me cut back here. Like, I'm not being funny. I could just go. I could just go on and on. Polanski, R. Kelly, Stephen Collins, Corey Feldman, and all of that context. Now we look at Diddy's charges. Okay, racketeering and conspiracy. Well, they've talked about a large secret group, right? Yeah, we're not talking about Mr. Hanks either. He's best friends with Stephen. Okay, they are. Or no, this one. So we can't have any charges that can connect to the conspiracy, right? And the conspiracy is that there is a large racketeering organization, mafia, Illuminati, PDF ring, whatever. Can't have that. Those charges not guilty. Trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. So basically basically putting you in the back of a van and kidnapping your ass. Okay? Not like, hey, do you want to get in this van? And then I lure you somewhere. It's like, in the sack, you go over the shoulder, in the van. Not guilty. Trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Another charge, not guilty. Can't have that one, mate. Transporting for the P word, guilty. Now, see, in the grand scheme of a global PDF syndicate, transporting for the P word, that's like, that's the equivalent of a really bad speeding ticket in this case. I'm sorry. It really is. So two counts of it. That's it. He's going to wiggle his way out of this. He is going to wiggle his way down out of this, man. Because that's what they do. Maybe if this had been 1977, Diddy would have been sent for psychiatric help and would be sipping some Chardonnay in good old Paris. Like the wonderful and fabulously eloquent Polanski, abuser, I wouldn't say confessed, but certainly he was about to be charged on his plea deal. Ali Carter, I'll be honest with you. If I'm an evil monster, and let's just for a second say Ali Carter is the daughter of a famous unalived rapper, okay? And you've got her father unalived. She is running for her life because she knows the truth, has seen the abuse, has seen the horrors. And people often say, well, why would she be left alive? Why would she be left alive? How could they allow them to be alive? This is their offerings, yo. When you create something so tragic as the unaliving of someone's father, and then the hatred that that man had towards, that Diddy had towards Tupac. to then put his daughter through a lifetime of absolute horrors, to then set her free, fragmented, and with a mind that legal teams struggle to get behind. This is all by design. What greater homage to evil than thousands and thousands of survivors freely roaming the earth, so devastated and split within their own minds that their story can't possibly be taken seriously by the mainstream. Because if you're a substance user, if you've got a mental health file that's this thick, and I swear if the words DID get brought into it, what better way of showing off your true evil to the like-minded monsters of the world than having these trophy pieces running around, unable to get justice. It is the center of the cabal. It is what makes it its true, darkest, and most evil. It really puts the question. The question shouldn't be how do we defeat Hollywood? The question shouldn't be how can we stop all this from happening? The question should be what would have to happen to this planet in order for this to stop? Because it's not going to stop, is it? Society is going to be shaped more and more, filled with more distractions, more worries, more anxiety for everyone, bills, new technology, keeping up with the trends for your kids, working yourself to the bone. And by God, what the hell have you got time for at the end of the week? Certainly not trying to fix the global PDF issue. You've only got 10 minutes to think a day. It's like society has been set up to distract and keep everyone busy and keep people self-centered, because if we don't take care of our own, we're out on the streets, right? We can avoid, or we can sit here and preach that we should avoid the things that we don't want to be part of. Okay. I just found out that Dr. Pepper is made by cola. And ironically, I proved my own point of what I was talking about earlier, when they will just find a way of creeping back into your life. You know? I'm actually amazed, right? Can I just go off topic a second? Is anyone else not really amazed that none of the traditional tobacco companies have a vape? Like Marlboro, for example. They must all have companies, right? But they just don't put their brand on it. They must do, right? They must do. They've got it, right? They must do. That's always really bothered me. I don't know why, right? But it always bothers me. It's completely irrelevant, right? It's completely irrelevant. But like, because I feel like they're doing like a blockbuster video move when Netflix came out. Do you know what I mean? I really do. Sorry, I've got an itchy eye. I'm just quickly rolling a cigarette, and then we'll get back to point. On point, everybody. It's just that's one of my weird shower thoughts. That I'm like, why? Well, they clamped down on. They've also clamped down on the vape. So it's the tobacco that the laws are up against when it comes to the advertising, not the nicotine and the vaping, if that makes sense. So I just wondered. So RJ Red. So yeah, imagine, yeah, RJR probably. Is that one of these? Is that like Pfizer when it comes to like medication? They just own everything. Is that one of them? Am I a dumbass? Do these people own everything? It's probably one of those ones, right? Katie May, you're probably right. I think 3 huge companies all own all the companies. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a Fraggle. Yes. Who remembers the Fraggles, by the way? Why did those little green guys that would build everything? Oh no, they built with the stuff, and then the Fraggles would eat the scaffolding poles, right? Little blue. I don't know. It was an odd one, but you gotta love Jim Henson era, man. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to jail for sticking their arm up a puppet. That's all I'm saying. All right. Oh God, please don't let me find out. Let me just Google this. Jim Henson. Please don't do it, Jim Henson. Please don't do it, Jim Henson. Did Jim Henson use psychedelics? Is one of the questions that comes up on. Did Jim Henson, the guy that created the Muppets, use psychedelics? What do you think, chat? Put a 1 in the side chat if you think that yes, Jim Henson probably used psychedelics. Put a 2 in the side chat if no chance. He was straight-laced and totally came up with Kermit the Frog without any form of psychedelic. Did Jim Henson do psychedelics? Jesus Christ. Did Jimi Hendrix blaze up? I'm thinking probably. So I'm going to be, hopefully by the end of this week, we're going to be using a new streaming format. Because honestly, Ron cannot do more than a 2-hour live stream where he doesn't have control over some sort of music. Yeah, Jim Henson on the Dark Crystal. Also, what was that? What was the original? What was the? They made a new Dark Crystal, right? But you know, see the Dark Crystal, the original Dark Crystal, right? Like those little freaking puppets freaked me out. Like these two here, man. God damn it! Like they proper freaked me out. There's not even anything that freaky about them. I think it was this. I don't know what it was, but as a kid, that really those weren't even the scary ones, right? But man, the Dark Crystal, like you don't get movies like that anymore. Do you know what I watched yesterday? I watched Conan, the original Conan the Barbarian. And I was like, they don't make movies like this anymore, right? Because there were so many quests that you were sent on during the movie to just end up on the final quest. Freaking awesome, man. And I think Arnold Schwarzenegger said about 14 words in the whole film. Awesome. Awesome. But yeah, man, like the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Do you remember Labyrinth? I remember the first time I watched Labyrinth as a kid, and it was the first movie like had David Bowie in it, right? So there was like it was a pretty good musical score, right? George Lucas again. Like, what is going on with these movies? And then does anyone remember Legend with Tom Cruise? What a movie! What a movie! What a movie! But remember, Indiana Jones PDF file. Sorry, I'm sorry. Do you know the funny thing about Goonies, right? Do you remember the end of Goonies where they fall into the big watery thing and then it just cuts to them cuts to them having a huge battle that you never get to see, right? Do you know they edited out the whole fight between the kids from the Goonies and a giant octopus? Right? Like it was meant to be a huge long scene and apparently it was completely edited to bits. I can't really remember a huge scene with them fighting a giant octopus, but apparently it was meant to be really, 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 really long and be one of the most pinnacle parts of the movie, but then they cut most of it out. Listen, it doesn't really matter. All you need is, hey, you guys, right? Hey, you guys. That's all I'm saying. Labyrinth was cool. How good was the Goonies, though? Yeah, man. Here they are again. There's the two Coreys. The two Coreys right there. And Chunk. I can't remember what this was. This the guy that played Short Round in the other Indiana Jones movies? I think it was. Indiana Jones is freaking awesome. But again. So, yeah. Hollywood, mental. All of us are morons for thinking anything other than history was going to repeat itself with the Diddy case. We can almost look at the charges that Diddy was found not guilty of and line them up with all of the rumors that we want to keep secret in Hollywood. Does that mean all the judges are bad? No. Does that mean a jury can be hand selected and juries can be threatened so things go their way? Judges get frustrated and have to look for small wins? Yes. But ask yourself, what the hell needs to happen to this world in order for this to be eradicated? Because I'm thinking, whatever it was that happened to the dinosaurs, that's what it's going to take. When we look at the pyramids of crime, it's super easy if you're going after the guy on the street corner selling the substances, right? He stood there. You can see what's going on. But it's not as easy with the crimes we're talking about. Even at the lowest end of it, it's incredibly difficult. Let alone the world finally being ready to admit that the cabal exists. And I tell you what, there was a large percentage of, oh, yeah. Aha. We're going to talk about that in a minute. There's a large percentage of the world that was ready to believe. They were so ready to push over the dominoes in Hollywood, assuming he was guilty. Because if he'd been guilty, he would have sung like a canary. Now, if it's all right with you guys, the last sort of half hour of this, I'd like to just chitty chat a little bit freely with yous about whatever yous want. I want to just talk for another 5 minutes and wrap this up. But we really, I said this ourselves, all we can do is assess our own reach. If somebody who's watching here is a high-powered Hollywood executive, then you can keep an eye on the Hollywood side. You can keep an eye on those around you that have the accusations, but a lot of us don't have that reach. We have to become used to learning how to spot potential monsters. We have to. Because all we can do is clean out the weeds in our own yard. And I'm going to just repeat this and repeat this. A lot of it, okay? An uneven amount of this comes from men, okay? And men like to huddle together in groups where their egos can be massaged. So here's a little interesting one for you. I've noticed over the years that there's a couple of people that have been in my real life who for more than 30 years, every single time that there was a PDF or I worked somewhere and it turns out the guy that the person worked there was also friends with, one of them's arrested and been a PDF. If you've noticed that there's names that pop up, oh, that weirdo down the road, it turns out he actually is a weirdo. Oh, well, you know, Billy was really good friends with him. 1 second, everybody, 1 second. Then, oh, the guy from the local calf, he's just been done. Oh, Billy used to go there. You need to start keeping your eyes and ears open, especially for the ones that go under the radar. The creepy, horrible, menacing monsters that want to go out in trench coats and act like sleazy sleazersons, they're kind of easy to spot. It's data patterns you need to learn now. Who's guilty? Who's guilty? I don't know what you're talking about. So, I tell you what, though. We're going to talk about this. Because this is freaking awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, look at him. Look at him. Conor McLeod from the Clan McLeod. Your accent was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Wardrobe, though. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Nah. Highlander. Do you know what, right? Do you know what? I'm willing to say, let's really delve into this for the last 10 minutes, right? So, hang on a minute. Let's ask ChatGPT. One second. All right. So, okay, you gotta love ChatGPT is where it's at. If you've not embraced AI yet, then sucker. No. Oh yeah, let's go. Keep going. Oh man, I guarantee you, at least 10 people who are watching this are going to go and binge watch something to do with Highlander tonight. It's that good. And honestly, I don't even want to hear about any of you not liking it. So, Highlander movies. We've got the original 1986, Highlander 2, The Quickening, 1991, Highlander 3, The Sorcerer, 1994, Highlander Endgame in 2000, and then Highlander The Source in 2007, right? What? Then we've got the TV series, Highlander the series, 1992 to 1998. Now, wait, Duncan MacLeod. Yeah, so then we had this dude, right? Adrian Paul, done the TV series. Let's just bring him up. That was I. All right? For like the 90s, that was I. I mean, looking back now, a little bit tragic, but it was I. It was I. Then we have Highlander the Raven, 1998 to 99. And spin-offs featuring Amanda. Okay, we need to look up this. I've never heard of this. Oh yeah, I did hear of this. Oh wow, yeah. No, don't waste your time with it. And then we had an animated movie or something. But look, I'm telling you now, I'm definitely going to be going back and watching all those movies, because they were awesome. Why have they not tried to ruin this by remaking it? Because I'm telling you now, this could be an incredible TV series if the people that done like Sopranos and Breaking Bad and American Horror Story all got together and made this series, right? It would be great. It'd be freaking... Do you know what else would be a really good series? Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat made by the people who done the last Mortal Kombat film, making it a whole series. That would be freaking sick. It'd be sick. It'd be so sick. It'd be so sick. Actually, is there anybody involved in this that we don't really want to be talking about? Christopher Lambert, man, what a guy. Sean Connery, what a guy. Clancy Brown. It's just legendary. It's just a legendary lineup. But if you do not know what Highlander is, if you've never seen it, you want to go and get this in your life. It's about immortals who are basically going around trying to chop each other's heads off. Basically. It's awesome. And then when they chop each other's heads off, the quickening happens where they absorb all the other person's powers, and eventually there can be only one. What? I mean, you put a plot together like that in the 80s, everyone's losing their freaking minds, right? What? Immortals with head chopping and there can be only one. What, mate? Bosh. Sean Connery, not a nice man. How dare you? How dare you? I mean, sure. I think I know what you're talking about. He maybe got a bit slappy, right? Maybe got a bit slappy, all right? Okay? But it's a crossover of cultures and generational things here, okay? He was from a weird time, okay? He was from a weird time. You know? Who's banner? Nah, she's right. He did say some outrageous stuff. Let me pull it up actually, because this is a banger. Like, and this is the thing. He says it. It's not like he didn't say it. Okay. Do you know how mad it is? How much he looks like my dad. Like, if you throw on some black hair in this photograph, he looks a bit like my dad.
With men than women.
Years ago, you did an interview.
Look at. I mean, this is a look that's been lost to time, ladies. I'm not going to lie. This is the ultimate anti-Sheila. Like, close your eyes. Imagine it's your 10th birthday and it's the 1980s, and your mum has just handed the camera to Auntie Sheila, and she can't figure out the flash on the camera. That's Auntie Sheila right there.
Which may come back to haunt you. What, you know what I'm going to say, right?
No.
Okay.
So I just want to say what she said there. Listen to this.
Which may come back to haunt you. What?
Stuff you've said that may come back to haunt you. So basically the 1980s equivalent of a tweet. All right.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
No.
Okay. You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it.
It's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. This is aged like milk in the sun.
With a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
Yo.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's
her face? She's like, if there wasn't a camera right here, right now, my love, Auntie Sheila, you'd be getting the backhand Sally.
good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's that.
Right, listen to the rationale, right? Look at his wee face. He's like, right, I've doubled down now, right? I've doubled down. Like, there's no going back, right? I've doubled down. Now I need to talk my way out of this. Honestly, this is up there with the smile and blow me and the look pretty and make me a sandwich lines that have come out over the last few years. Like, it is, we are witnessing, right? A person of an age that is also in a position of popularity, that is from an era where this was normal to say, okay? Normal to say. And this isn't justifying it. It's just a rarity. This is a rare thing we're seeing here. This isn't like a crazy guy that gets drunk and beats his wife. This is a guy who's like, actually, I'm going to double down on what I'm saying here, because when I grew up, let me explain, when you slapped a woman, it was a term of endearment, and you never close the fist. No, that's for other things. But an open hand. Oh.
That bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
On the okay, so let's, in 2025, let's actually all come up with, I can give you one right now. Let's try and come up with situations that justify bitch slapping a woman, okay? If she's coming at you with a knife, yeah? Oh, closed fist on that one, right? Like, bosh! Dunzo. If your life's in danger, we can knock her out, right? Yeah? We can all agree. Okay? And I don't mean like, oh, she was cutting the vegetables, so I knocked her out. I mean, like, no, she is coming for you. She is coming for you, and it's you or her. It's lights out time. Okay? So let's hope he's talking about that, right? Because other than that, you know, like, other than that, and I don't mean like, because we can all agree that's okay. Everyone in the world can agree if crazy woman runs at you with pointy thing, you can knock her out across the board. Other than that, right? And of course, insert whatever weapon you want. Life-threatening situation, you can knock her out. Other than that, it becomes it doesn't become 100% wipeout vote anymore, right? It becomes, there's other things that, you know what I'm saying? Let's, please, Sean, please be like, I'm only referring to when your life is in danger.
What would merit it?
Well,
What would merit it? Please say, crazy woman with a pointy thing.
if you have tried everything else,
If you tried everything else. Oh, this is what people used to think like. Annie, this is what people used to think like. What we're not witnessing a man here who's like, I have learned this over the last couple of years since the Webernet has been out, Sheila. No, this is a relic. This is relic conversation.
and women are pretty good at this. They can't leave it alone.
He's not lying.
They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again.
Yeah,
And-
that's what you do. That's what you do, ladies. He's not like, doesn't mean you get slapped. Doesn't mean you get slapped. But even in this day and age, that's what you all do.
And get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
No. It's never right. like just listen again, right? It's you gotta understand. This is a real conversation. This is a real thing that took place. This is a real conversation where he's like, well, actually, you go on a bit, and even when I grace you with the final word, Miss Moneypenny, you have the audacity to rebuttal your point after I have yielded my masculinity before thee. So I must reclaim that masculinity, Sheila, with the swift slap of justice. Mad.
Good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again.
It's so funny.
And get into a really provocative situation.
Look at, okay, oh God, a little bit of me hopes she created a situation where she kept taking the last word from him in this. I really hope she did that. Also, shoulder pads, where have they gone?
And get into a really provocative situation.
Also, women, right? Can I talk about this? Never mind, ladies. Never mind.
Then,
also, only a man with a mustache in the 80s or 90s could get away with saying this. There was a certain stature and power that the mustache had in the 80s and 90s that is lost now.
I think it's absolutely right.
To give her a good slap.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if she gives you a good slap back?
Well, then you get into
Oh, wait. What is his answer going to be? If she has the audacity or the gall, Sheila, to even attempt a flurry of rebuttal against my masculine slapping. Well, Sheila, that's when the fist gets closed and lessons are learned. Damn! It's crazy, though. It's crazy. Just normal chat. Oh, yeah, give her a good slap. Brilliant. They go on a bit, mate. Oh, aye. Wild.
another area. I mean, then maybe she's getting to like it, and then it becomes something else. I don't know. But seriously, I think that It's the last resort. He's not going to do it because he wants to do it. Huh?
Okay, guys, don't worry. He didn't want to do it. Is that making it? God, I feel better now. I thought he actually wanted to slap the woman in the face, but it's all okay. It's all okay because it turns out it was her fault. She made him do it, but he also felt bad. How can we blame him for that? That was sarcasm. Just because one of you is going to be like,
Wait till people see this interview. Are you going to?
oh, she is.
To do it because he wants to do it. Huh?
Wait till people see this interview. Are you going to get mail?
Wait till you see this interview 40 odd years later, mate. Okay. When was this? Sean Connery. Hello, Miss Moneypenny. When we need to find this has got to be the 80s, right? We need to find out. We need to find out when this was. Whoa. What? 1965. This was in 1965. Shut up. When did he lose his hair? This can't be 1965. This is some Mandela madness. 1965? So then, no. He can't have lived for another 80 years. Oh, no, in 1965, he gave the original interview. Okay. God damn. Okay, so the original, when he said it, it was in 1965, and then the interview happened. When the frick was the interview? When was this interview? The interview has to be around 1985. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with 1985. I kind of wish every 20 years they had re-interviewed him about this. Okay. Hear what he says in 65, 85, 2005, and 2025. They're just mad. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad. But Hollywood as a whole, we've gone over it. The terrible, horrible, disgusting place. But man, that is up there with just how well some adverts age, right? Let me give you an example of this.
This is Bill Cosby. Now,
just watch this, right? Just watch this. And then give me a mark out of 10 for how finely this aged. Okay. Let's all watch. Let's all watch together.
now that everybody has told you about the dangers of doing drugs, I'd like to tell you about some of the benefits.
Oh, I bet you would, mate. I bet you would. They turn every date into a happy ending. Is that what you're going to tell us?
Just imagine yourself unconscious, making a visit to a hospital emergency room.
Or to your bedroom, Bill.
Weeks in rehabilitation centers, nights in overcrowded prisons, spending more money than you can afford, ruining your
Just wait for this next bit.
health,
It's going to give you chills.
hurting your parents, losing your loved ones, and most of all, destroying yourself. And remember what I say about doing drugs. I think you can say no.
Wait. There was another bit, right? It must be a different advert. Wait a minute. So, of course, Bill Cosby doing an advert about what happens when you take substances. Brilliant. Of course. Yeah, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. There was another one where he talks about you might not even know that you're on them. What foreshadowing madness, right? Madness. It really is crazy. It really, really is. If you guys can give me some likes, some shares, make sure you subscribe to the Sean Atwood channel. Make sure you subscribe to ProjectROOQ. We've got a lot more content coming this evening, all week. I have got a very important appointment to keep at 7 o'clock. I have also realized that tomorrow I'm going to be in a meeting at 11:30. So I'm changing tomorrow's Daily Show time to probably 2 o'clock. It may change again though. I should be back. But the meeting's at 11:30, so we'll see. But look, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me on whatever channel you come and view me on. I really need your guys' help to build my shows back up, and I would really appreciate it. Anything anyone can do, sharing, helping the word get out there, I would really, really, really appreciate it all. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. And for me, Ron Swanson, as always.